If you're feeling stuck, the real problem is probably not your plan, but your persistence. Listen carefully because you are going to know the exact mindset shift that fixed my life. Short intro, I used to read a ton of self-help books and nothing changed for me. So basically, it is not about consuming more content. It's about doing one path and sticking to it. Here is the emotional conclusion right away. Conviction beats perfect plans every time. Now the short intro, going to explain why you feel stuck and what to actually do about it. Think of your goal like climbing a mountain and your strategy like the path you choose to climb it. Listen carefully because paths look different from the valley than they do from halfway up. One path may be steep and direct while another may loop around and look easier. So basically you can't judge the whole path until you actually walk on it for a while. Most people keep jumping from path to path because they hope one will be perfect. This constant switching wastes time and energy and keeps you stuck at the base of the mountain. I call this the fallacy of the perfect pick, and yes, it's real and common. You think finding the perfect plan will fix everything, but most plans are reasonable if you commit to them. So basically it is conviction matters more than complexity of the plan. Let me give you the blunt personal story so you can relate to this faster. Early in my career, I ran 9 businesses at the same time, and it was chaos. We had revenue, but I couldn't focus on any single thing, and so nothing really scaled. I was spread thin across agencies, launches, gyms, and more, and I could barely breathe. Most people can't execute because they are doing too many things at once. If you ask younger me what the problem was, I'd say, change strategy, find something better. The truth was simpler. I needed to pick one thing and do it really well for a long time. So basically, it is consistency compounds faster than constant switching. You can beat most people at anything if you stick with it for a year. If you're willing to suck at something for 100 days in a row, you will outrun most competition. The bar for excellence has never been lower because most people quit at the first hard patch. The hard part is not the idea or the plan. The hard part is figuring stuff out when you don't know. So basically it is. The unknown phase is where most people give up. You will hit level after level, and each time you think you are stuck because you haven't seen that boss yet. People switch paths because they think the next path will be easier, but switching costs time and progress. It is a lot longer to go back down and then find another route up than to push through. So basically, it is grit and time that turn a decent plan into success. Most people already know roughly what to do, they just don't do those things consistently. If you need to get in shape, you probably already know to eat better and move more. If you want muscle, you probably know to increase weight or reps. That's common sense but hard to execute. So basically, it is doing the simple things relentlessly that matters more than elegant theory. I want to make this operational so you can fix it rather than just feel inspired for 5 minutes. Listen carefully, because the next part is the tactical breakdown I use with teams. At the surface, the problem is execution. Under the surface are culture and talent. So basically, it is culture and talent that make or break your ability to execute a plan. What is culture? Operationally speaking, it's the rules of reinforcement in your business. Culture is what gets rewarded and what gets punished over time, and that shapes behavior. If you allow poor behavior without consequence, you teach everyone that it's acceptable. So basically, it is small, repeated reinforcements that create the large culture over months and years. The 2 main levers for culture are who you hire and who you fire. Allowing mediocre people to stay signals that mediocre behavior is okay. If someone does something great and you don't reward it, they learn that it doesn't matter. If someone shows up 5 minutes late and no one says anything, everyone learns it's fine to be late. So basically, it is reinforcement and visible consequences that guide the team more than memos do. A simple way to give feedback is start, stop, keep, and that makes expectations clear. Start doing what you're not doing. Stop doing what harms results. Keep what is working well. Now, talent is the other half, and it is the people actually doing the work. Many businesses can't expand not because of the model, but because they don't have people who can execute it. So basically, it is the quality of people that determines the speed of your execution. Raise your hiring bar, and you will see disproportionate returns in performance and revenue. This is one of the best arbitrage opportunities in business because top performers cost a bit more, but deliver far more. If the 50th percentile for a role costs X, the 90th percentile might cost only 30% more and be 5 times better. So basically, it is worth paying for quality when you can afford it because the ROI is real. When I hire, I look for rainmakers, people obsessed with the craft the role needs. Ask candidates what they do in their off time, and y'all learn whether they're obsessed or just comfortable. If you're hiring a videographer and they spend free time shooting and editing, y'all know they love it. If they say their hobby is casual sports or social stuff, they might never be fully committed to the craft. So basically, it is discretionary time reveals priorities and predicts professional focus. Now the third major lever is training because potential must be turned into actual performance. You hire for potential at lower levels and for actual at higher levels. That balance matters. If you bring great people in but don't train them, they stay potentials, not producers. So basically, it is training systems that convert talent into consistent execution. The reason your plan isn't working is simple. No one is actually doing the plan. Why aren't they doing the plan is the real question, and it usually comes down to a few observables. Translate big words into specific actions so everyone knows exactly what to do and how to show it. I remember a solar sales company who created 6 values, but no one changed behavior after their offsite. When I asked what accountability actually meant in behavior, they couldn't show me the actions. So basically, it is accountability must be translated into observable tasks like daily texts or end-of-week reports. Make a list of the exact behaviors that demonstrate a value and use that to coach and measure. If you can point to 4 specific things someone should have done, then you can fairly hold them accountable. So basically, it is specificity, removes ambiguity, and forces action. Once you have culture, talent, and training aligned, you will see execution improve markedly. Don't blame strategy first. Diagnose whether culture rules are clear or your people can actually perform. A quick diagnostic: are people following processes day to day or doing whatever feels right? If they're doing whatever feels right, the issue is culture and enforcement, not the plan itself. If people can't do the work, even with instructions, the issue is talent or training. So basically, it is a simple 2-question framework. Who and how are you reinforcing behavior? There is no perfect secret move. There are usually many ways to win in business. It's not one weird trick. It's about doing a path with discipline and improving faster than competitors. If your knife is dull, it doesn't matter which way you cut. You're not going to make progress. Your knife is your ability to execute and sharpen it with training and better people. So basically, it is pick a direction and sharpen your team and systems to cut through obstacles. Now, I want to give clear tactics you can implement this week to start making progress. Tactic 1. Pick one metric to improve for the next 90 days and ignore all shiny distractions. So basically, it is 1 focused lever beats 10 half-finished projects. Tactic 2. Write down the specific behaviors that show progress on that metric each week. Tactic 3. Use start, stop. Keep in weekly reviews with your team or yourself. So basically, it is small, consistent feedback loops drive change more than one big annual review. Tactic 4. Hire for obsession, not for comfort, and ask what they do with free time. So basically, it is discretionary effort is the secret signal of who will overperform. Tactic 5. Translate all company values into 3 observable actions each and measure them. So basically, it is measurable behaviors beat vague platitudes every single time. Tactic 6. Pay up for the top talent when you can and fire the persistent underperformers. This sounds harsh, but keeping the wrong people is more expensive than investing in the right ones. So basically it is. Long-term survival requires short-term hard decisions on people. Tactic 7. Create short training rituals that everyone repeats until it becomes habit. So basically it is tiny rituals repeated. Daily build the muscle of execution. Tactic 8. Document your operating cadence so people can't plead ignorance later. If you document processes, you reduce excuses and increase accountability immediately. So basically, it is systems, remove drama, and make results repeatable. Tactic 9. Adopt the 100-day rule where you can't quit or switch focus for at least 100 days. Suck for 100 days, learn the hard parts, then evaluate with real data. So basically, it is commit to a time window and give yourself permission to be bad in service of learning. Tactic 10. Stop romanticizing the pivot as the magic move and diagnose what is actually broken. Often, the pivot masks issues in culture or talent that are addressable without starting over. So basically, it is saving time and capital by fixing the real bottleneck, not chasing novelty. Let me give another concrete example so you can see how this plays out in real teams. A sales company had 6 leadership pillars, but nothing changed after the retreat. When I asked for behaviors, they couldn't show them, and so nobody knew what to do differently. So basically, it is translating pillars into daily actions like morning check-ins and weekly score reviews. Once they wrote down the exact actions and taught leaders how to coach the behavior, things changed fast. This is the power of operational specificity and coaching at scale. So basically, it is specificity plus repetition equals behavior change. Another important idea is measuring what matters and being ruthless about low performers. The toughest leaders I know create kindness in practice by not keeping people who consistently fail the basics. So basically, it is fairness and clarity, not favoritism or avoidance. You also need to build a culture of public praise and private correction so people know where they stand. Public praise reinforces what you want. Private correction preserves dignity and drives improvement. So basically, it is reinforcement timing that makes praise effective for culture shaping. Talent development must be intentional with on-the-job training and measurable checkpoints. Don't assume people will learn by osmosis. Create focused practice sessions and measure improvement weekly. So basically, it is rehearsal and repetition that accelerate learning on the job. Hire slow and fire fast is a useful mantra, but make sure you've trained people before you cut them loose. There is a moral side to all of this, and I believe you should be humane but decisive. So basically, it is human-centered decisions combined with performance clarity. You will make mistakes in hiring and firing, and that is normal. Learn and iterate the process. Jack, your hiring funnel and time to competency so you can measure improvement over hires. So basically, it is metrics for hiring help you raise the standard over time. Another practical tip is to benchmark role outcomes and then reverse engineer the behaviors required. If a role must generate X revenue per month, write down the daily activities that lead to X. So basically, it is outcome to behavior mapping that makes expectations realistic and measurable. Pick your North Star metric and cascade it down into team-level KPIs everyone can affect. Daily and weekly rituals to review those KPIs will keep the team aligned and honest. So basically, it is cadence plus transparency equals momentum. When you feel stuck, ask yourself, is this a strategy problem or an execution problem? Almost always it's execution, and diagnosing the root cause will save you months of needless change. So basically, it is root cause thinking before theatrics and reorganizations. One final major habit you need is patience combined with ruthless learning. Be patient enough to endure the unknown and ruthless enough to act on the data when it shows up. So basically, it is patient persistence plus timely adjustments based on evidence. You will make a series of mistakes and learn faster if you stick with one path long enough to accumulate feedback. Most people reset to zero before they can correct enough mistakes to improve measurably. So basically, it is staying long enough to collect the signal and not just the noise. If you want a concrete blueprint for scaling, I put together a public roadmap we used internally. It's free, and it will help you identify what to focus on at each stage of growth. So basically, it is a cheat sheet to point you toward the likely next unlocks for your business. If you want personalized tactics, my team will review your inputs and give tailored suggestions. We will diagnose whether you need culture fixes, talent upgrades, or better training systems. So basically, it is targeted help that avoids reinventing what you already have. A quick checklist recap so you can act right now. Listen closely and take notes. Checklist item 1. Choose one North Star metric for 90 days. Checklist item 2. List the weekly behaviors that move that metric. Checklist item 3. Run, start, stop. Keep reviews every week. Checklist item 4. Hire for obsession and review discretionary time in interviews. Checklist item 5. Translate values into 3 observable actions each and measure them. Checklist item 6. Create training rituals and measure progress weekly. Checklist item 7. Commit to the 100-day rule before switching paths. So basically, it is an actionable weekly rhythm that will change outcomes faster than another strategy retreat. Now some extra mindset rules to keep you sane while you do the work. Rule 1. Treat patience like a competitive advantage because few people have it. Rule 2. Treat feedback like gold and seek it actively from people you trust. Rule 3. Be willing to make hard people decisions but do them with empathy. So basically, it is bravery plus compassion that makes teams resilient and effective. Rule 4. Log mistakes publicly and what you learned so the entire team improves faster. Rule 5. Guard your schedule because shallow busy work steals execution time from deep work. So basically, it is protecting time and attention is the practical way to improve results. Let's talk about measurement so you can know when to double down or pivot properly. Measure leading indicators, not just lagging results, so you can course correct before it's too late. If your leading indicators improve while output lags, stay the course and keep optimizing tactically. If leading indicators stagnate for many weeks, then you need a deeper fix in culture or talent. So basically, it is let the data guide incremental changes rather than dramatic resets. Now, an emotional reminder. You are allowed to be uncertain, and the unknown is the work itself. Don't confuse discomfort with the wrong path. Many breakthroughs come after the hardest phase. So basically, it is discomfort. Often signifies growth zones, not failure. If you want to win, cultivate patience, hire the right people, build rigid rituals, and measure what matters. This combo makes execution inevitable and turns decent plans into real progress. So basically, it is the quiet, consistent work that compounds into big outcomes. Before I end, one last tactical trick: create a low-friction reward system for desired habits. Rewards can be tiny acknowledgments, but they make repetition much easier and culture stickier. So basically, it is micro rewards, and visible praise accelerate desired behaviors. Alright, final summary. You're probably stuck because you're switching paths or your execution systems are weak. Focus on culture rules, hire better, build training rituals, measure leading indicators, and commit to a time window. So basically, it is pick one path and sharpen your ability to walk it with discipline. If you do these things, you'll stop spinning and start actually climbing toward your goals. Now, I want to hear from you. Ask me specific questions in the comments and I will make a video to answer them. Tell me which part of your business or life feels like the mountain and I will help diagnose it. If you like this breakdown, please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more practical tactics. Remember, commitment beats perfection and execution beats infinite analysis every time. So basically, it is do the thing long enough, learn faster, and the mountain becomes smaller. If you want, the free roadmap link is in the description for a guided blueprint. Use it to benchmark where you are and which execution lever needs attention right now. So basically, it is a tool to shorten your learning curve and avoid unnecessary pivots. Final thought. The mountain has many routes, but you will only reach the top by walking one with stubborn consistency. If you're ready to commit to one path, start today. Write down your 90-day metric and execute the first week. Ask me any question below and I will make a follow-up video answering the most common ones. If you found value, please like and subscribe and I will keep making these practical videos for you. Thanks for sticking through this. Now go pick a path and sharpen your ability to walk it.